Hello there, my name is Marilyn Comparetto and I'm an artist, and today I'm going to show you some ideas how to make your very own dream jar. Now, what is a dream jar? Well, it's whatever you want to make it. It can be a permanent view of something that you enjoy, something you dream to do, something that you have done, you want to keep in your memories, or inspiration. You can make all sorts of things for yourself, and it's not just for the girls and ladies, it's for the boys and the gents too. After all, we all want to aspire to do something, we all want something good, and it's good to have something to think about for the future, something to work towards. So we're going to use the dream jar as a tool, and I'm going to show you some ideas of how to build that, and then you can go off and make your own jar, and hopefully at the end of it you'll send us some photographs of what you've actually produced, because we would love to see them, and if you're happy for us to, we'd love to put them on our website. Now, first of all, you just start with a plain jar, empty jar, and then you start to decorate it. Now, as an artist, as you can appreciate, I've collected lots of materials over the years and arts and crafts stuff. Now, I don't expect you to have all of these things, but I think that you can find things that will work just as well. So there are lots of alternatives. Now, I'm going to show you my dream jar that I created earlier. As you can see, it's almost like a starry night, a bit like a Vincent van Gogh view, and that wasn't deliberate, it just sort of happened. And I've used felting, different colour felting, peacock feathers, sticky on stars, and beads to go around the top. Now, what I will do, I'll put it on one side and I'll write on bits of paper and I'll pop them in here. Ideas, hopes for Stevenage, ideas, good fun, creativity for Stevenage, and other thoughts. Thoughts for myself, for my family, thoughts for the future, ideas. And so I can put them in there and pull them out every now and then and see if I've moved on with it or whether I've started on it. And so I'm going to put it on one side now for me to work on later. Now, I'm going to give you some ideas of how I've actually created some parts of that jar to get you started. Again, I appreciate that you haven't got a lot of these things at home. You may want to pop out and get some, that's fine, but you may find other alternatives. For example, first of all, I'm going to show you how to fix beads on the jar. Now, you may not want to put beads, but you can use rice, painted rice, or old buttons, or tiny things that you want to put on, anything that you think that fits on there. And to be able to do that, one way I found to do it, you may find another way to do it, but this is a good way to do it to start. You take a piece of double-sided tape and you fix it onto the edge of the jar and in the front of the jar, there on the very edge, and you peel off the paper and you push down the sticky bit, and then you can easily stick on the beads just by putting it onto the sticky paper. I've got a few beads in here that I'm going to show you how to fix on. And so simply you just take it and you pop it on there and you push it down, and the same at the front, and you would go all around the edge, of course, and all around the front with whatever you want to use. Now, that on itself, on its own, the sticky side tape will start as a first fix-in, but because you're going to be moving the jar around, handling it, I would suggest that you also then put a good layer of PVA glue all over the top, covering it completely, trying to make sure there's no dribbles down the jar, of course, and then leave it to dry. Now, you can see PVA glue is white when it's wet, and when you cover all the beads or whatever you have there, it will cover it completely with this white sticky stuff. Don't worry, because after a couple of hours it will dry and it will be transparent like this. And now I've used PVA glue on the top of this, spread it thickly, and when it's dry it's come out like this, so it does work. Again, I've got these materials here, but you could use wool, cotton wool, You can colour it with different things. I've created this first scene to show you what I've done inside the jar with the bits and pieces I have got. Again, it's very similar to the other jar, but this is on the inside of the jar. So I've created a scene here, which I hope you can see. It's not always easy when we're doing these things. So I've created a scene here in the jar. Now all of this is movable. You can make it permanent scene and make lots of jars, or if you want to have one big jar or one jar and then change the scene every now and then, you can leave it loose in there. It will stay there as long as you don't move the jar around too much. But if you want something more permanent, then you can use a little bit of glue there to stick it to the inside. If you haven't got much in the way of material, can't find anything immediately, you can also just get a piece of paper, cut it to size, or maybe stick it together with sellotape, and draw a picture of whatever you want on the outside on the paper, and then you can either put it on the outside of the jar like that, or you can make the paper smaller. So I'll just fold it over to demonstrate, and then you could have the picture like that, and then you curl it up and pop it inside the jar, and then you can make yourself a story inside the jar and you can see it through there. You probably need it a little bit smaller than that, but that's just to give you an idea. And once you get it in there, it is easy to take it out if you take your time carefully. Now I had some other ideas to help inspire you. I thought I'd look through magazines to find some pictures that you could use as scenery or ideas that you would like, or will actually give you an idea of where to look for ideas. Now you can either look through magazines, or you can go, if you have a printer, access to a printer, you can go on the internet and print off pictures, cut them out and use them for your scenery. So I thought it'd be an idea, I mean you could use anything. I've got mainly nature scenes here, but you could have space scenes, pictures of buildings, pictures of motor racing, pictures of bikes, anything that you want, you know, dancing, a theatre scene, anything, absolutely anything, an art gallery. So let your imagination run riot and put in there what you would really like to have in your dream jar at that moment. Again, you can make these scenes permanent and have lots of different jars, or you can change the scenery, a bit like a theatre in fact. So, for example, here's a picture of a sea with or lake with fish in. So I've cut this out, making sure it's about the right size for the jar I've got. You just curl it up a little bit, put it in there, and you take some maybe woolly material, whatever you've got, blue. You can actually perhaps colour in paper, cut it up and put it at the bottom, or just scrunch it up and put it at the bottom. So it doesn't have to be wool, you can use paper, all sorts of things. Whatever you've got you can use. So you put that to the bottom of the jar, and then if you've got any shells that you've collected over the years, maybe when you've gone to the beach you've managed to pick up a couple of shells, you may find them and put them at the bottom. That will give it even a nicer effect. I'm just going to quickly look to see what I'm doing here so I can give you a really good example. So excuse me if we'll work back to front for a second. And I've also cut out a single fish so we can have more of a 3D effect by putting that at the front. You could stick that on the outside of the jar as well if you wanted to. So now I think I've created a scene that you may like. Let's stay up. I'm just going to push that down a little bit more. Let's hope it stays when I move it towards you. Now you can see I've made a scenery set in the sea there. So if you like deep sea diving or fishing, that would be the right thing for you. And then also I have cut out, if you really enjoy going on holiday, maybe in the UK where you have lots of lovely beach huts, I've cut out a painting of beach huts. Again, curl that in. I'm going to leave the blue at the bottom because we've got a watery scene, and being a bit playful I'm putting that fish back in the front again. So that, let me just look at it to make sure I've got it right. And then we've got it there like that. So there you go. Just push that down a bit. We don't want the beach huts flooded with water. I'm going to pop that over the top a bit. See what that looks like. Again, this is very simplistic, but it's just ideas to give you on what you could do. I'm giving you some examples. So there you go. You can see that. So now you've got a beach scene with a shark or something in the front, maybe. A danger scene. So let's take that out and see what else we can create. So that's a couple of examples. So we've had watery scenes, and now I thought it would be nice to have a scene with the mountains. So you want a sort of a greenish material or paper or whatever you have. Pop that at the bottom. Or maybe we'll put this in first. We'll put this scenery in first. You'll find the best way of doing it. I'm just going to show you, as I said before, some ideas to get you your imagination going. I'm just going to lift this out again because really we need the sky behind there. So I'm just going to put that in. We'll pop that down a bit. Let's see if we can get that right now. This is very rough and very quick so that you can get an idea of different things that you could think about. So again, you've got a nice mountainous scene. You enjoy wildlife, you can pop a picture in of some wild animals. So it's absolutely anything that you can put in there. And once you've made your jar, again, you can write on bits of paper your ideas, your thoughts, your wishes, your hopes, whatever they want to be, whether you're young and you're thinking about your future career, or doesn't matter what age you are, you still have dreams and hopes, and you can put them in there. Not just for you, but for your family, your friends. So you put them in the jar, a piece of paper with a note on there, and every now and then you pull it out and have a look at it and remind yourself of those ideas. And have you done anything? Can you do anything still? Or have you changed your mind? But it's wonderful to have a jar with ideas in by simply making something that's imaginative with ideas that you can enjoy. And again, you can have more than one jar. So again, if you do go ahead with this project, and I'd be really pleased, well, we will all be really pleased to see what you've actually created. You can create it on a piece of paper, in a jar, or whatever way you find that you can do it best. There's a couple of examples, templates on the website for further ideas. And when you finish, if you send them in to us by email, send a photograph of it, we'd be more than happy to have it on our website. I'd be really interested to see your ideas, because there must be hundreds of ideas that we haven't even thought about. So it's been really nice talking to you, and I look forward to hearing from you. See you soon.